I was asked to. I was basically fired from Ring of Honor by Jim Cornette, and obviously I'm not happy with Jim Cornette for that decision he made. Like no one agrees and is happy when they get fired from a place. So yeah, there's a little in my heart, Jim Cornette's not my favorite person, but also if I was in that position and I didn't like somebody, that's what you do. You get rid of them, So, Sinclair Broadcasting took over the company, and I think that's where I was a little sad that they hadn't realized I had been with the company since 2002 or 2003 when it started. I'd wrestled in the Murphy Rec Center. I was a real big part of that history, and so there was a little chip on my shoulder. And when they got rid of Jim Cornette or when he left, they did ask me to come back, and I didn't feel like I don't know, it just didn't feel right to me. I still have that chip on my shoulder, and they've asked me throughout the years, and it's been about 5 years, and I kind of said to myself, I think I should let this go. I should bring a bit of positivity into my life when it comes to this, and there's no reason to hold that over anybody's overhead. I think those days are done, and it's kind of on. Let's move forward. And since then, I talk about how they didn't recognize that I'd been there for a long time. Nigel, who was kind of forced out of wrestling because of the style he wrestled in Ring of Honor, they still have a job for Nigel. They still pay Nigel. B.J. Whitmer is still there. Steve Corino is still there. So it's really cool to see that there's still a place for the guys who kind of helped build it if they wanted to be within the company. And so I've actually become really good friends and friendly with Joe Koff, the guy who kind of has taken over, and Gary Juster, and it's been a real positive experience for me so far. I'm really enjoying it, and and I'm doing some stuff with Dalton Castle now, where we were teaming, and now we've kind of gone different ways, and so I look forward to where that's going to take us too.
Yeah, that's been kind of cool because can you see the evolution of you over all the years, obviously with Punk and Steel as Second City Saints, and then you kind of come all the way forward, as you said, from those Murphy Rec days, which I went to, and those were some crazy days. They're great to see where ROH has come since then, but now working with Dalton Castle, what's it like to work with him? Because some aspects of him, obviously, he's got a little bit of that comedy in wrestling as well.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. There was a time, and we talked about this before, where when in my 20s, where I was a little jovial and a little more carefree. I see a lot of, I got over in Ring of Honor because everybody was very serious, and I was the only one kind of being a little bit of a goofball, and I think it made me stand out from the pack. And I think the same thing's going on with Dalton right now too. And I'm going to these shows, and I'm seeing the autograph lines, and I'm seeing the cheers and the pops, and this guy is fucking over, and it is wild. Good on him. And so, I think it'll come out and it'll come through as a good story that we're gonna tell out there. But he's definitely a star in that promotion.
Future is bright for Dalton Castle. It's definitely a unique, different thing, like you say. Kind of back in the day, you were doing the kind of more the comedy stuff, and when you were with the Saints, obviously Punk was more the serious role, but you guys were tag champs for a while, which was great. And you and Dalton Castle not being able to get the tag titles kind of led to your little feud, which is kind of cool. And it's almost like you're almost reversing the role a little bit. You're kind of becoming more the serious guy. Do you kind of see it going in that direction?
Yeah, well, I think and it's kind of like in the movie I talk about the role of the straight man, and I assume that's kind of be my role now, is that and I'm going to be the straight man maybe to his silliness, or vice versa. You never know. I kind of I was playing with the heel character a little bit this last weekend in Texas, and it almost seemed like a throwback to the old days for me. It's something I haven't done in so long, and it was really fun, and it was different, and it was fun.